what I have in front of me in Word is a newsletter. This newsletter I'd like to send out to a variety of people. I don't want to type that person's address and then have to print and then type the next address and then print. I want Word to mix this letter with a group of addresses that I've got and create a mail merge of letters. The idea here is we've got the newsletter in front of us. Let's go and have a look at another document I've got in Word, which is actually a table and a list of people. I'm just going to open on my desktop a file called Company. And when I bring this file into view, what you'll see is it's a table. It's a table of people, their title, their first name, last name. There's a column called Company, address 1, address 2, a column called City, and a column called Amount. And as I scroll down, you'll see that there's actually quite a few people because there's 3 pages of people. So what you can do is you can create a list of people in a Word document simply in a table, and the table column headings must be unique and each column must have a column heading. Once you've got this list, I can then send out this letter to each of these people using Mail Merge. I'm going to close this file and go back to my newsletter. To do a mail merge, we go to the Mailings tab in the ribbon and we choose Start Mail Merge, and the step-by-step mail merge wizard I think is the easiest way to do a mail merge. Immediately on the right hand side you see the mail merge task pane, and this is step 1 of 6 steps. The first step is, do you want to mail merge letters, emails, envelope, labels, or even a directory? Letters is chosen, and that's what I want to mail merge, so at the very bottom of the task pane I simply click the option Next. Should I ever need to go back to a previous step, I've got the option Previous, and that's the whole way through, so I'll click Next. The second step is saying, do you want to start with a document that is the current document, or do you want to start with a new document from a template, or do you want to start from an existing document? I actually just want to use the current document, so it pays to have the letter that you want to mail merge open before you do the step-to-step mail merge wizard. So I'm just going to go Next to use the current document. Now we have to select the recipients of this letter. You can use an existing list, you can use an Outlook contacts folder, or you can type a new list. We have an existing list that I was just showing you earlier, a file called Company. So I'm going to browse and I'm going to go to the desktop and find that file. And here it is here, Company. And that was that list of people. And I'll go Open. Immediately this appears, and this is a list of everybody that was in that company file. Now what you can do here is you can choose to untick certain people you don't want to receive that letter. You can even hit the drop down and say, look, I don't want to send it to people from a certain city, just by going into Advanced. So by going into Advanced, you can say, look, I only want to send this letter to people that come from a certain city, and perhaps that city is London. You can also add additional cities simply by going and where the city is equal to, say, Madrid. So you can actually say that you want to filter the large list and you only want to send the letter to those people where a certain field is equal to, and there's other options in here, a certain value. But I'm just going to clear all and OK because I want to send this letter to absolutely everybody. I can also sort the list as well as filter it. But I'll just go OK. So I've chosen my list. Now I go Next to step 4. The whole idea here is now we actually combine the two documents. What I'd like to do is click in between the date and the first paragraph and insert an address block just by clicking this option. This is how it will address the letter, but I have got other ways that it could be addressed just by choosing these options here and looking to my right. But the default is generally pretty good, so I'm going to stick with that and go OK. Then I want to add a greeting line, so I'll click about here and put in a greeting line. This will then say dear and whoever the name of the person is, followed by a comma. If I didn't want the comma, I could choose none. And if I didn't want dear, instead I wanted to, or just their name, I have options in here as well. If there is no name, then I'll just go dear sir or madam. I can also use these to move forward to see what it would actually look like with my data. But I'll go OK. And then to the right of this particular line here, I'd like to insert one of the columns out of that table. So I click More Items. And I'd like to insert the information in the Amount column. And I click Insert and Close. So you can insert address blocks, greeting lines, or you can actually insert items as many times and in whatever order you prefer. When you want to preview your letter and see what it looks like, we click the Next button. Here I can see the first letter to Miss Anna. If I click this button, I can check what the second letter would look like, what the third letter would look like, and I can move forward just checking what the letters look like. If I was at all unhappy, I can use the previous button to go back to any previous steps, such as changing the source data, etc. But what I'll do is go Next to complete the merge. At this point, I could send these letters straight to the printer, or, most importantly, I can merge it to a new document by clicking Edit Individual Letters. And I'm going to send all the records and OK. Eventually, Word will start generating a document that will have a number of letters in it. And I can see these letters being generated down here on my status bar. Slowly, it will increase from 12 pages to 18, and eventually I'll have 90 letters. Or up to 40, and depending on your machine, it will go quicker or slower. And there we are, there's our 90 letters. So as I scroll down, I can see each of the letters, and that one document has got 90 letters in it. I could then print all of those letters, or I could print them in batches. I can then also save those letters, so I've got a record of who received a letter. If I was to close this letters document of 90 letters and save no, I return to my original newsletter if I want to create more letters in the future.